Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you an update on the snowblower. I know it's been like a week or two, but I have been working like non-stop on this thing. And if I was to take videos of everything I'm going to show you that I was doing, it would have been like a 4 hour long video. And you guys don't want to watch 4 long hour videos, so neither would I. I don't want to watch someone for 4 hours know how to do something. But I've been having problems getting belts for these things, and because the old engine that was on here was a 5 horsepower. Starts with a T. How do you pronounce it? Tamaxo or something like that engine on there. I don't remember how to pronounce it. And so I put this 224cc engine on there. I got the box right over there. And it's one pull start every time. And I've been lifting it up and putting it back down so it starts every time. So I wanted to give you guys an update of what I got going on over here. So I got the engine on, and that's real straightforward, to be honest with you. I didn't take a video of that. You literally just put it on there, and it fits in the same holes as the old engine did, and put in new bolts. And I ended up breaking a bolt, and it took me 4 hours to get that bolt out, and I figured it out that this is not threaded, only the plate here is. So all you had to do is pick up the engine, and I was thinking of everything possible, complicated to, like trying to drill it out or somehow get underneath it here with pliers and try to turn it, but it wasn't happening. I lifted up the engine off of after 4 hours, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So in case it ever happens to you guys, get new bolts. Don't use the old bolts that were off the old engine. This thing was made in Canada, it says, but it's probably like an old Craftsman or something as well. What you got here are two pulleys right here, and I got this pulley. I ended up going to I believe this is a 35-inch pulley for this one. And this one back here, I ended up getting it's in the mail right now, 33 inch, that this is one is going to be right here. And those are the different types of belts I had to get. I'm not sure the size that was on there originally because all the markings are gone. When it comes down here to the auger down here, I wanted to put an impeller kit on here. I don't know if you all guys saw them online, the impeller kits and all. And it's supposed to make a huge difference. And my main thing is not really throwing as far. The impeller kits that you put on here, which these rubber pads sit close against here, like this. They go down there in the impeller, and that gap closes that gap up, so it doesn't get clogged. And I tell you what, when the wet snow, this thing was constantly getting clogged. I have to sticking a broom down there and try to unclog it, and it was such a pain, and it was a waste of time, and time is money. And so I wanted to do this impeller kit, but I came up of a few problems here doing this. Now, other people online are able to do this so easy, and it's taking me so long to do this, and I'll show you why. Number one, I had to drill holes through this impeller, and I saw someone use a step bit online, and I was like, all right, that's easy. You just use a step bit, goes right through. Well, not with this snowblower, because this is, high strength steel. So I had to buy a Cobalt bit, which was $10 for one bit to go through that steel. And my brother works overnight at Lowe's, so he was able to get one from me. And so that was a problem right there. And I ended up pulling this all out because I wanted to grease this. Ended up cracking this, and had to get a new one online. One of these shells right here. So be very careful with it. It's not cast iron. It's aluminum or some type of cheap metal. So be very careful if you go to take these things apart to grease it. And by the way, there's a little screw that comes out right here, and you can grease it like that to put new grease in. I did not know that until I took it apart. I wanted to show you guys something about this as well. In case you ever have to put a new one on or put it back together like I did. And I didn't look up a video online. I just did it myself. So we got here the shaft that comes out of here like this. And when you put this back, try to put that shell on, there's a few things that you can get really frustrated on if you don't know. Number one is, you got this piece of metal right here. And this piece of metal, this brass piece right here, has a little slot in here. And that slot is important because when it goes back into this shaft right here, it has to stick up. If it's sideways, it's not going to go in. It has to be up like this. And also, the bearings as well on here, they have the same slot and they have to be facing up as well. And then there's another one right here. This thing right here, which goes on the end. So if this helps anybody, that's great. And it goes, well, actually it goes this way. And this also has a little slot right here that has to face up as well. So there's one here, there's one right here, and then there's one on this side and one on this side. And so I was like, why is this not going back together? and it took me a while, but I figured it out. So back to the impeller kit that I was talking about. Why it's taking me another problem is because the thickness here, right here in the impeller, right there, is like a 1/4 inch. So it's a pretty big gap. And you're like, no problem, just put a rubber flap on there, right? Wrong. Because I did, and I drilled holes in there, and the thickness in here is not a 1/4 inch. So it's thicker right there than it is over here. And so when the rubber paddle was going around, it was hitting right here, and it wasn't working. So I am at a dilemma of what to do, guys, and I need someone's help here to give me advice, because these rubber paddles are not going to work. It's going to go up and hit because the gap here is smaller than it is over here. So I thought about maybe putting a piece of sheet metal down there just to cover up that 1/4 inch and try to wrap it around down here like that. But I know that would give me a smaller area, but it wouldn't get clogged. And that's the whole reason why I wanted to do it, was because not so it can throw farther, which would be nice because the thing was throwing 3 feet, but so it wouldn't get clogged, because that's a waste of time. I wanted to give you guys, I'll give you guys another update once I get farther along, and I'll show you some more things on the snowblower. But it's taken me a long time. It might not take the average person that long, but it took me a long time. And you know, when you go to do a project, you always run into something. And that's what I'm running into: breaking bolts, dimensions in different areas, breaking casings, and having trouble with that. But I wanted to show everybody the update on here of this snowblower on. And so I'm hoping that this will work a lot better. I don't know when we'll get another winter storm here in New Jersey. Probably not this year, but yeah, I'm excited to see what I come up with and what you guys can give me advice on for the auger in there. Trying to, again, I said I wanted to put a sheet metal down there, but that'll close that gap. But I don't know if that's a good thing to do or not, because having a rubber pad gives it a greater throwing distance, and I understand that. But this is a project I've been working on for a couple of weeks now, and I'll have to show you guys when it's all done.